It was raining. The cold, heavy raindrops hit the broken windshield of an old van. Inside the van were three people: Rahul, Neela, and Samir. Their destination, St. Adrian's Mental Hospital, a hospital that had been shut down suddenly 50 years ago. People say the screams of patients still echo in its walls. Neela hit the brake. In front of them, a rusty iron gate appeared from the fog. On it, faded letters read, St. Adrian's Pediatric Hospital, 1923. Below it, someone had written in red paint, turn back or die. Samir laughed. Come on, someone is just trying to scare people. Rahul didn't laugh. We were not here just to shoot a video. We are here because we have to find out what really happened inside. Suddenly the gate's chain rattled and opened by itself. All three looked at each other and walked inside. Walls were black. Wet patches dripped from the ceiling. An old wheelchair lay in the hallway all alone. Suddenly they saw something scratched into the wall. Screams never die. They just change. Neela's camera blinked. Her flashlight flickered. Then they heard it. A whisper. Don't forget me. Rahul turned around. But there was nothing. But they all had heard it. And the voice was coming from inside the hospital. The darkness grew deeper. They turned on their flashlights and moved forward. The old wooden floor cracked with every step, as if something under it was breathing. Neela checked the old hospital map. Room 13 should be here, Samir whispered. Room 13 is always bad in horror movies. Rahul replied, This is not a movie. The door to room 13 was half open. Dark inside, but something was staring at them. They slowly pushed the door. Inside, a rusty iron bed, a fallen wheelchair, and white sheets hanging on the wall. But the sheet had blood written words. Screams were our medicine. We couldn't escape. You won't either. Rahul looked under the bed. Someone was there, a woman, maybe nurse. Her face was hidden. Hair covered it, and she slowly raised her head. She wore a mask, but upside down. Her pale eyes met Neela's, alive but empty. Then suddenly she disappeared. On the wall behind her, a glowing line appeared. You are next, Neela. Neela froze. How does it know my name? Rahul pointed his flashlight at the brick sticking out from the wall. He pressed it. Click. The wall opened, revealed a secret tunnel. They looked at each other and stepped inside. The tunnel was old, water dripped from the roof. Strange pictures stuck to the walls. Old photos of patients with their faces scratched out. Neela whispered, This part isn't on the map? Rahul pointed his torch at the wall ahead. It read, Screaming lab, do not enter. but they entered. The room was filled with old machines, microphones, headphones, and a big chair with bells to tie someone down. Suddenly, a speaker on the wall screamed, loud, horrible, and alive. Sameer stepped back, scared. That's not a recording. Neela saw a file cabinet. She pulled out a folder. It had a name, Subject 21, Neela M. Her hands shook. Inside the documents said Neela was once a test subject in this hospital. She was only 3 years old. Rahul found another file. Subject 03, Rahul V. He had also been here before. But that's not possible, he whispered. No one ever told me. Suddenly a machine turned on. The microphone lighted up, and the walls were filled with the sound of screams. Dozens of voices speaking together. You have come back. Your screams will feed us now. Sameer panicked. He ran to the door, but it was locked. Only one light blinked in the room, like a broken clock. Then silence, except for a slow, creepy laugh. The machines turned off, but their echo stayed in the air. Something behind the walls was breathing. Neela whispered, "Why is this hospital calling us?" Rahul replied, "Maybe we were never supposed to leave." Sameer suddenly saw something in the corner. A concentrate slab was written, "Feeding chamber below." The three of them pulled it open. A dark staircase went down. As they walked deeper, the whisper grew louder. "Shh! Someone is listening." At the end, they reached a round room. The walls had thick glass. Behind them were bodies, half alive, lying still. Their mouths were open as if screaming. But no sound came out. Neela shivered. "Are they alive?" Rahul didn't answer, because in front of them was a huge metal door, written in blood. "The listener," a speaker turned on. The trembling old voice spoke. "If you are hearing this, it's already too late. We locked him away. But he can still hear. The more you fear, the hungrier he gets." Then the metal door opened on its own. Pitch dark inside. No movement, just a deep breathing sound. Then everything shook. The walls screamed, and they saw it. The listener, a tall, shadowy figure. No face, just two dark holes where eyes should be, and gaunt ears, turning in every direction. He heard her scream and looked at Sameer. Sameer screamed again. The listener lifted him up and began pulling sound out of his body, like stealing his soul. Rahul and Neela ran. The door shut behind them, and one last scream was heard. "Help!" They ran back through the tunnel, their bodies shaking, but their minds more scared. The hospital was different now. Doors that were once closed were now open, and paths that were there before had vanished. Neela whispered. What we saw can't be real. Rahul said. Then where is Sameer? Suddenly they heard footsteps behind them. They turned. Sameer was standing there, but his face was blank, calm, empty. His eyes was nothing. Neela asked, Are you okay? Sameer said only one thing. Have we met before? Then he turned around and walked back the way they come. Rahul shouted, That's not Sameer. Neela suddenly remembered a photo from her childhood. 3 kids in this hospital. Rahul, Neela, Sameer. Then they saw the wall clock, time 3:12 p.m. Date April 7, 2025. Neela whispered, That's the time we came in. Rahul picked up his bag from the door, but it was covered in thick dust, as if it had been there for years. He said, We never left this place. Then a speaker echoed again. Welcome back, subject 21 and 03. Your test has started again. Everything started again. Doors, screams, tunnels. Room number 3, the listener. Rahul and Neela were trapped in a time loop. Each time they entered, got scared, tried to run, but never escaped. And every time they screamed, their voices got recorded as new sounds. That's why people say that hospital isn't empty anymore. Every night someone screams there, but no one can hear them. But this time Rahul saw a word flash in his mind. Project Reborn. They found a file. It read, Project Reborn, a plan to make humans immortal, by Dr. Samarveer Verma. Rahul gasped. That's my dad's name, Neela whispered. My dad was part of this project too. Just then, an old man entered the room. Dr. Samarveer Sharma. He said, You two were not just subjects. You were the key to the whole project. We created the listener, but he was our first failure. We found a way to measure fear, to free people from it. But the more fear we collected, the more it turned into something real. The listener, Rahul asked, Why put us in this loop again and again? Dr. Verma smiled. Because each time you fear a little less. And one day, when you fear nothing, you will become more powerful than the listener. Then Neela saw a screen in front of her. Accept control of the loop, break the loop, and destroy it all. She looked at Rahul. He nodded, and she pressed break the loop. The hospital shook, walls fell. The listener screamed and vanished. Dr. Verma said one last thing. Now you have become what we were most afraid of. Next morning, people in the city were shocked. St. Adrian's Hospital was gone. Just a gaping hole in the ground and a stone slab that said the screams still live inside those who were once there. the story didn't end because Rahul and Neela were no longer in this world. They were now part of the hospital forever.